I am doing this action because everything else that my husband and I have tried up until now hasn't really felt like it's effective. Everything else that is happening, that, letter writing and legislation and just simple protests don't feel like they're really getting the job done. And the urgency, it's been there, but it's really obvious now.
Great-granddaughter saying Citibank divest now. The people gonna rise.
Doing a direct action, it feels like, it's almost out of desperation because I don't know what the future is gonna look like, and that's incredibly scary. We always had an idea of what the planet was going to be able to give us, but now we don't know. It's gonna be completely unrecognizable.
I am doing this because I think everyone has a moral obligation to do these things, and many people aren't, and I'm not going to be one of those. I'm going to be one of the ones who is doing something, and I am doing it for the millions of species of animals which face the potential for extinction, and I'm rebelling against that.
Who am I doing this for? I am doing this for, easy answer is my grandchildren. And the hard answer is for everyone and every being on earth that is being affected by this crisis we have brought on ourselves. It's hard to believe that we are an intelligent species and we can see what's happening and we are allowing it to go on.
What do we want? Divest! When do we want it? Now!
What keeps me up at night is the fact that we are running out of time and we are in a dire situation, that we have no time to spare, and we really have to get this moving, and as many people as we can to join the cause.
It feels right. It feels absolutely right. It's what we need to be doing. We need to get the message across that business as usual is lethal. It's deadly. So the business model of endless growth and pouring money into fossil fuels that are literally killing us has to be disrupted.
I'm here personally because I have 3 younger siblings. I have siblings that are 5, 3, and 1. And I have a really hard time imagining my future. I have a really hard time getting excited about my future, and so I think about them, and I feel just like a deep sadness for them, and just how hopeless I already feel for their futures, and I can't really look at them without knowing that I'm doing everything that I can to hopefully help them feel hopeful and excited to be alive.
We're currently here in front of JP Morgan Chase to send a clear message to Jamie Dimon, Chase, and all the other for-profit corporations that are funding our climate catastrophe. They are sentencing us to death, sentencing our families, our children, future generations to an inhabitable planet, and we cannot stand for this. That is why we are here. We're demanding that they take responsibility and that they stop financing the fossil fuel industry. We need to move towards 100% renewable energy, and we need to do it now.
I'm excited. I'm nervous. It's been a while since I've been at an action like this with so many people, especially because of the pandemic, and it feels really good to be with people who have the same values and are feeling the same urgency around this climate crisis and are willing to put their bodies on the line to ensure that we are able to change the tide on this catastrophe. I've seen in my community how the fossil fuel industry has just completely wreaked havoc on our communities in ways that perhaps can't be seen instantaneously, and it's communities like ours, Black and brown communities, that are always facing the burden, and communities like my family down in Colombia, folks who are living in the global south who are feeling those impacts right now. We're seeing these storms hitting our country and other regions at a degree that we've never seen before.
My heart just goes out to all these people that are going to be displaced from the catastrophes that are not only happening now, but will continue to amplify and happen in the future. And that's incredibly unnerving and not a great thing to leave our children or grandchildren and like future generations. And now we're like fighting for literally our lives right now. So we're here today to demand that banks stop funding new fossil fuel projects. Full stop. We can't wait any longer, and by 2050 is just a pipe dream, so we really need to act now.
We are on fire, and nobody is paying attention. The environment, we have given a messy environment to our future, to our grandchildren and the future generation. We have to stop this whole craziness with corporate capitalists. They are basically killing the planet. We cannot live with fossil fuel. There has been a long time passing that we have been over this, but we cannot get rid of it, so we want Chase to know that we are not leaving them alone. We are going to be in their face until they stop supporting fossil fuel.
I feel sort of sad in this moment because that we actually have to come out here and do things this way. Like I wish that the world was a better place where we didn't have to do things like this, and that things were easier.
I have done everything. Petitioning, going to Congress, going to Washington, doing everything around this country that I have been able to do. But they are not listening to us. So this is the only thing I can do. And I'm 74 years old, and this is so important to me because it's not about me anymore. It's about my grandchildren and all the young people and all of your generation. We made a mess, we gave you a mess, and we need to help you to clean it up.
It's time that these big entities, these big institutions, these CEOs take responsibility for the impacts that they have had, the roles that they have played, and to take a stand themselves and make a change and stop financing the fossil fuel industry, and to put their foot down and start looking for ways in which we can push our economic sectors towards a focus on renewable energy so we can have a future that we all deserve.